Welcome to one of the short talks for the Hermit's Lamp podcast. I'm recording this a few days before winter solstice, a few days before Saturn enters Capricorn, and about 2 weeks before the end of the year. And I am thinking a lot about what is going on right now and the three big things that I need to make sure that I do in order to sort of transition and capitalize on the shifting energies this time. And I understand that the end of the year is somewhat manufactured. However, at least in the culture in which I sit, it carries a real force with it because so many people have their attention on it. So whether or not it's tied to anything concrete in the movement of the universe, it's definitely got a lot of energetic flow. So the first thing that I've been focusing on is, what do I need to wrap up, right? What do I need to finish? What do I need to give up on? What do I need to throw away? I've been really sort of looking at this questions of like, what am I done with, And Saturn moving into Capricorn is a great energy for sort of assessing and evaluating what's going on. It's a great transitional time for that. And so really cleaning up old projects and old things. I've definitely gone through and put an end to a few things. I'm clearing out the piles of paperwork and I'm getting rid of stuff. And this is also going on spiritually and magically too. What am I no longer practicing? What am I putting away for a while? Where do my energies need to no longer go, or where have they been seeping out around the edges? The second thing that I've been doing is obviously probably at this time of year, a lot of planning. I have a life where a lot of my plans and ideas are set in motion way far into the future. My teaching schedule is spoken for through until the end of next year. In fact, I have events booked into 2019 already. I'm looking at what do I need to plan, what are my goals, and coming out of this parting ways with things, what is the gold that's left in my ambition and ideas from the first part, and how do I set that in motion in a way that's going to actually help me concretize things. And when I'm looking at the next year, I'm never really looking at just January I'm often trying to look at it in terms of what am I going to do in the first season? What do I want to have done by the first half of the year? And although I have definitely some things that are very specific later in the year, I tend not to overly plan the second half of the year so that I'm not locked into something that is not relevant, that is shifted. Maybe some things haven't worked, and so on. And so I'm really spending a lot of time with the cards, both with myself and, with Hanlon reading for me and so on, evaluating what I'm up to and what do I need to really get clear on in particular about, because otherwise time really flies by and stuff doesn't really flow. And then I'm also, again, setting reminders throughout this time frame in my planner, in my phone, and in other places to make sure that I circle back. And really, each time the sun changes signs as we move out of Capricorn into Aquarius and so on into Pisces later on, I'm going to be looking at what is it that I planned, what am I getting done, what am I not getting done, to really keep myself moving forward. And finally, and perhaps maybe the most important piece of this equation is I'm doing a lot of magic at this time to really emphasize those first couple of pieces. I'm setting my plans, I'm creating new sigils, I'm doing candle work, I'm doing clearing work, I'm clearing the space and resetting the altars that I work with. Over the holidays themselves, I'll be refreshing all of my orishas and spirits at the house as well, and working on creating the order and the space spiritually that can support and do all these things. But I'm also actively doing a lot of prosperity work, growth work, and work to try and channel and feed inspiration into my life to help support these first approaches of getting rid of stuff, wrapping stuff up, and planning for the future. And so together, these three things, this sort of clearing the way, this planning and setting things in motion, and this doing magic to feed into all of that work, is a really important thing that I'm doing at this time of year. So, what are you doing? What kind of stuff are you done with? What needs to end or be finished? What needs completion? What needs to just be thrown away and ended? What needs to be planned? What are your goals and your ideas about where you're going this year? What do you need to do to get clearer about them? And how do you translate those into an actionable plan? And then finally, what magic do you need to support all of these things? What spirits need attention? What things might you do, sigils, ceremonies, candles or otherwise, to cleanse and clear, to draw towards you what you want, and to help you manifest your next year? So that's what's on my mind at this time. I hope this is helpful for you. If this is something that you would love some help from me about, drop me a line and get in touch. But any which way, happy solstice, and I wish everybody a bright and blessed transition into the next year. I hope that you enjoyed this short talk, and if you did, I would suggest a few possible things you could do. One, it'd be great if you could share it. It gets harder and harder with social media to get things moved around these days, and if you liked it, hit the share button or send it to someone who you think would enjoy it. Number two, if you would like some more of this kind of stuff, you can subscribe to the podcast in any podcaster you happen to be working with, including Google Play. It's everywhere these days. And finally, if you're absolutely in love with this stuff and want more beyond the regular public stuff, you can get bonus episodes every month or more often through our Patreon, which you can find in the links in the show notes. Either way, I wish you all the best for next year. Thanks again for listening.